Hey guys, how are things? So we're back. I know we haven't been on YouTube for a while, but we've been busy. But last week on our Facebook page, we put up a poll for a variety of different knives that I've gotten over the last couple of weeks to be tested. Um, if memory serves me, what we had on it was this knife, okay, which is the Tops SXB, okay, stands for Skull Crusher Extreme Blades, okay. And I'll get to you about the design of this now in a second. Here it is alongside the Tops Tracker, which it is often confused with. They're two completely different knives. Also in that poll was a Chai Rose Custom Classic Bushcraft knife. An SEPR4, which I have been using, and it's a great knife too, and we'll be doing a test on all of them anyhow. And the Condor Otzi knife, okay, that's a replica of the knife that was the flint knife that was found on Otzi. So anyhow, topping the poll came in this SXB. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the knife first, its concepts, the person that designed it. So the designer of this knife is a man called E.J. Snyder. Now E.J. Snyder is a 25-year Army veteran, US Army veteran. He originally started off in the regular Army, went on to the Airborne, then the Rangers, and he ended up as a SEER instructor for the Green Berets. Now if I could be wrong about this, but 3 or 4 times he's been on Naked and Afraid, I think 3 times. Basically, he designed the knife after going to Tanzania, and the one tool he brought with him, a knife, broke. I've always told you, and I really believe this, that should your survival knife break, the integrity of your survival knife is so important. Should your survival knife break, it's a huge blow to you psychologically and from an implement point of view. At the end of the day, in a survival scenario, your survival knife is your life, and if your survival knife breaks, well, your morality will be affected. So what we're going to do is test this anyhow. This is particularly gnarly wood, okay, and I've used some rings of this before, and for some knives it actually didn't get through, okay. I don't think this will have a problem. I've already broken a batten trying to get through this morning. Now, I was testing a survival knife a few weeks ago, and I think it must have taken me 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to get through what we're doing here, okay. So EJ is belonging to the group, like Ron Hood and Lofty Wiseman, that a survival knife, a big knife, works. And obviously any survival knife should have a full tang. In my thinking, it shouldn't have a stick tang. Okay, that's really important. And the ability to batten, especially if you've only one tool option, is so important, because if you have a wet log and you want to get to the core to start a fire which is dry, a big knife will allow you to do this. Now, I can't highlight enough how hard this timber actually is. Like even that now, for such a big knife, 1/4 inch thick, is posing problems. Now I know we're going down through where there will be a knot, you can see a lot of twist in that, but that's what we're here to do today, is really give this a test. I use my knives harder when I'm testing than I would in a survival scenario. Therefore, I know that they're not going to break on me. Now, the Tom Brown tracker knife, which, as you know, I've been using for a long time. Superb knife, it's a great knife. But people just say, oh well, this knife, the SXB, is a Tom Brown tracker on steroids. It's not. It's actually quite different. Very different, in fact. And the similarities really are only on the initial shape. The good thing about this knife, Tops generally ship a knife with a very steep grind on it, okay, and they're not super sharp because of that steep grind. Now, my thinking on that is the reason that they do that is because a lot of monkeys will be using them and don't use the knife properly, and it's just to protect it, okay. But this one actually is probably the sharpest Tops knife I've ever received. It's quite sharp, so the grind is really good on it. Now obviously this is something that EJ spoke to them about. It's great. Now this knife is particularly good for me. EJ is a big guy, I think he's about 6'3", okay? So when he was designing this, he didn't know he was designing it for my hands, not just his, okay? This suits me. Handles on a knife are a huge problem for me because I've very large hands, okay? This is great in my hand. When I put this in my hand straight away, it felt like I designed the knife, okay? The handle is so good on it. So thanks a million, EJ, for thinking of me when you're designing this knife. I haven't used it much, but I've used survival knives now since I was a child, and I've a good idea when I've got a good one. I don't know if there could be a better single tool option out there. If you were kind of gonna have one single tool, okay? So the philosophy of survival knives is, and yet here's another survival knife, and they differ greatly, okay? We have 3 survival knives here that differ an awful lot. This is the Blackbird SK5. This is 154 cm stainless steel, okay? The other 2 are carbon steel. It's a 5-inch blade, and it's a small knife, a light knife, okay? But the thinking behind this is the knife you might have on you, okay? And as I always tell you, survival scenarios usually happen when you're not expecting a survival scenario. But should you have the choice, something like this, you've got a great advantage. Now, there's also a bow drill divot in the handle. You can see I've made a bow drill for with this already. Bow drill is my thing. We'll stick a photo in on the video with that. It has a great exposed pommel, which I love in a knife, okay? I always talk about this because you can use it like a chisel, okay? That's great. Obviously a knife of its size, it's going to chop extremely well. Like, I mean, this thing is built to chop. Nothing is a problem with it like that. But what I like about it is it has a lot of dexterity as well. So you can actually use this for fine tasks, you know. It's look, I'm going to be beating the crap out of this over the next few months, and the next time you see this knife in a video, it won't be nearly as pretty, okay? This is a user's knife. It's not a, you know, it's not a knife that you stick in your dresser and admire and rub every night. This is something that you go out into the woods, beat the crap out of, and your life, without testing it, I fully believe that you could depend your life on this. So guys, we're going to come back to you in a couple of months when I've really gotten down and dirty with this knife, and we'll give you proper feedback then. Thanks for watching, guys.